typical veteran that would qualify is actually extremely rare. But it would set the framework for understanding who would qualify. So, for instance, if you have a double amputee, that would be an allowance for a car grant to adapt your car to be able to hit the brake and hit the gas, right? And so that framework basically means your disabilities caused you to have some sort of adaptation to that vehicle. So amputee obviously is going to be at the top of that list, but that's not the only veteran, right? It could be the loss of use. And so, for instance, if you have an ankle condition that has severe limited range of motion, that's not severe. Severe would be like this, okay? If you have severe limited range of motion or the loss of use, which is called ankylosis, that would be a disability that would help you qualify for this benefit and many, many others. And there are tons of conditions for the car. So the ankles, the knees, basically your entire legs and below, all of that would also be a good benefit or disability for that benefit, excuse me. But it could also be vision, right? Your vision could impair your driving. Any disability that impairs your driving would kind of open up the avenue for this car grant and many, many other benefits that we're going to talk about.
Absolutely. Also, a couple of the other ones on here are a severe burn injury is on the list. ALS is on the list. The ankylosis that you talked about in both hips or knees, absolutely. And then obviously the amputation pieces. Now, as far as qualifying, it's important to remember that it must be service connected, like Clay said, and I just want to double tap on that. I mean, if you're not service connected for your diabetes, and then you ended up getting some leg foot issues and you got your feet amputated for some reason because of the diabetes, but it's not service connected, you're not going to qualify based on that unless you get it service connected. So just something to think about. And that's why I think that both of us really stress, look, if you have a condition that is service connectable, get it service connected. It's an important thing because of all of the residual benefits that you can get sometimes, whether it's for you as you age, whether it's for your spouse when you pass away, whatever it is, make sure that you're getting service connected for these things. As far as the types of benefits that you can get a one-time payment to help you buy that specially equipped vehicle. And then in some situations, one or more adaptive equipment grants can to change a vehicle so that it has features like, a certain type of steering system or brakes, seats, windows, lift equipment, and so forth. Do you have any idea on how much that car grant can bring in?
It can go up to $22,355.72. I have that right in front of me. There's no way I would remember that, but it's about 22 grand. And something to remember is this channel is focused on VA disability, which is typically for veterans. But this specific grant also applies to those on active duty, to include the National Guard. So if you are if this applies to you, regardless of what your status is, you can take advantage of that. So, a lot of service members, after they have a severe, serious injury, they stay in service technically for medical reasons and administrative purposes, right? Which is a super extremely sad situation, just to be real. But if that's the case, you can still apply for this car grant. So it's primarily for veterans, but it also applies to active duty service members, to include the Guard and Reserves for those that rate the benefit.
Absolutely. Now, I will throw out there that I think that the dollar amount may have changed. I have so we both pulled up notes, right? So it just, whatever, it could be the source. So on the VA's website, under 2024 VA special benefit allowance rates, it states here, automobile allowance effective October 1st, 2023 is up to $25,603.02.
All right.
So
Roll Tide.
I don't know. Maybe you're looking at last year's or something. I mean, there's so much. And look, that's the whole purpose why we're doing this stuff, right? Is because one, you may land on something that's outdated. We land on things that are outdated. And sometimes it's, hey, two sets of eyes is better than one sometimes. So in any case, so 25,603, according to the VA's website, effective October 1st, 2023. Remember that the VA has two kind of time frames in which they update their payments or how much they award for certain benefits. One is our COLA, right, which is effective in December, but it doesn't pay out until January. And then there's other things that they change that happen on the fiscal year, which is October 1st for the federal fiscal year, and that this is one of them. So in any case, absolutely right. This is a great benefit for folks. The form that you would want to use for the application for the automobile and other conveyance and adaptive equipment is the VA form 21-4502. So 21-4502 is that form if you are interested in going through that. I always suggest folks that, look, get the form, read through it. Even if you're thinking like maybe I don't qualify today, if you think you're on track to qualifying for something like this, get the form, read through it, have your spouse read through it, sit it somewhere so you can kind of remember that this is a thing. And then anytime, here's my word of advice when it comes to VA forms. If you're going to fill out a form for the VA, always, always, always go to the VA's website directly and pull up the form from their website, because if you don't, you might get an outdated form, and that's just going to delay the process. And when in doubt on anything, give a call to the VA and ask them directly. And as always, Clay, right? Contact an accredited rep. They can look through it for you and give you that second set of eyes as well. Anything else on car grants from your side, Clay?
I want to speak on the accredited rep. So, the companies out there, the ads you see on Facebook, the attorneys, the claims agents, they're really going to focus in on disability, right? That's really the cream of their crop. The only people, to my knowledge, that have actual training, that have to pass the test for these benefits and many, many more benefits outside of these four are your VSOs, right? Your VSOs with VBMS access, the ones that had to test to be accredited through the organization or county or state by the VA. Those accredited reps are really going to be your one-stop shop for everything, to include these niche benefits like a car grant, right? Not every veteran's going to have access to a car grant. Not a big deal. But if you are, right, you don't want to leave 25 grand on the table. Also, when you were speaking, I double checked. You're 100% right. 2024, that is the amount. I was looking at previous years.